hailing frequencies are open.
And welcome everyone to the latest episode of Star Trek Atlantis. We're still on Atlantis, the original series. Is it a spin-off?
Yeah, we're a spin-off. We're a spin-off of us.
Yes.
It's a spin-off prequel flashback thingy in the best tradition of Star Trek. Hello, Jaunty. Great to see you. Well, I say great to see you. We've got a bone to pick about the about Devour and the toilets in the inn not housing the spiders anymore, as per a recent update. I'm glad we got the inn done anyway. But yes, great to see you. And with us, as ever, we have Captain Webb, Matthew, Matt the person, Matthew the captain. Yes.
Yes.
I
Hello.
need to get it right. Yeah.
Yes.
We have our first officer and tactical officer with all the tactics as long as it's shooting stuff. We have Commander Helen Alward. Amy.
Hello.
Indeed. And of course, keeping his head above water. Hey. We have Lieutenant Kaveen, our science officer Ed.
Don't like getting wet.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a Caitian. So, how are we all keeping?
Good.
It's been a long fortnight.
It has. I've been sat thinking about this puzzle.
Good.
No? Good. I don't have anything either.
Okay, it has indeed been a long road. Hello, Captain Quinn. Yeah, so, well, it's all going to be down on the captain then to solve. I mean, literally, you've had a fortnight. Rather than, like, coming up with a solution to the puzzle on the spot.
It's like homework, isn't it? Who's the nerd who does it like the day it was issued? Or did everyone? Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah. And who does it the night before?
Well, no, actually, that would be you. Who did it on the bus on the way to school?
Oh, even better. Kudos.
I got very good at being able to write while the bus was like.
Oh dear, excellent. Well, you've had a bit of a bus journey to get where you are. What are we thinking about this planet now? I mean, it's very pretty.
Yeah, I want to go home though.
Apart from all the dead bodies.
Yeah, well,
Actually, no.
Who's responsible for those?
Themselves?
Out of
Really?
there are only 3 dead bodies, and I think we're only responsible for 2 of them.
It's a classic win then, really, isn't it? I mean, and most of them seem to be being vaporized anyway. So if there's no bodies, habeas corpus.
There's ashes. So far you've got dead. The female Trill, the Klingon commander, the Vulcan, and the ensign who you were sent to arrest.
Only 4. That's fine.
Great.
I thought it was more than that.
Also have 2 unconscious Klingons as well outside.
It's better than having 2 conscious Klingons.
I mean, you can go back out and kill them while they're unconscious if you want.
There was a dead Klingon outside because the other Klingons killed one of the Klingons.
Oh yes. No, I'd forgotten about that. Yes, that Klingon is dead. Yes, so there's 1 dead Klingon.
So there's only 1 dead body, and we weren't responsible for it.
Fantastic. Well, the others did walk into the booby trap in all fairness. We didn't do a lot to stop them, but I don't have any of those little, those are like wet floor signs. And there's nothing to fabricate one to put, danger, deadly booby trap.
And now we can enjoy the peace and quiet.
It's an interesting solution to the trolley car problem to just say, I wonder what happens if you just stand back from the controls.
Well, if you didn't make any decisions, then you can't be held responsible.
Surely deciding not to act is a decision in of itself.
Nope.
That's very certain.
Yep. It was the machine's fault.
We shall leave that up to the audience to decide. As Captain Gwyn said, you couldn't stun them. That's very true.
Yes. That's right.
you
Captain
rightly
has
say.
got the only weapon.
No
I did
attempt
try
was
and
made.
stun him in the kneecap. I went non-lethal to start with.
You did. What about this disintegrator beam then? So you've tried throwing a knife at it.
That worked.
Did we try shooting the originating area of it? See where
No,
it came from?
that's next in the to-do list.
Well, before we get on to your next steps, shall we have a recap via our usual method
I think so.
of a captain's log?
Yay.
Captain's log, stardate 5377.2. Commander Alward, Lieutenant Kiveen, and myself have been cut off from our ship, the Atlantis, on this strange world of Bacchus 4, I believe. The ship is being held in some sort of mysterious beam that threatens to bring our crashing down on the surface at any time. We must find a way of deactivating the beam before it's too late. We've made some progress towards this goal. We find ourselves inside a gigantic monolith from which the beam is being emitted, but we're not alone. An unusual group consisting of a Romulan senator, a Trill, and a Starfleet lieutenant, who we have orders to arrest, is also on the planet, although there seems to be under some sort of thrall of something. There were more people here, but some kind of lethal security device inside the monolith has disintegrated them. There were nothing, I tell you, nothing that we could do to stop them from being killed. It was all of their own devices. We did, made all effort possible, but it was to no avail. There were also a group of Klingons that we encountered outside, seemingly the victors of the same beam that trapped us here. We quickly vanquished our foes, however. They won't be bothering us again. We now have the sense of urgency as we desperately need to find a way past this defense mechanism, hopefully without too many more people being killed, apart from Klingons, which would be no great loss, I don't believe. The question is, do we try and shut it down or sneak past?
And that is ultimately the question. He don't like Klingons, does he?
Yeah.
Captain Webb.
Mm.
He's never trusted Klingons, and he never will.
No.
Yeah, so the big old question, what would you like to do? Yeah, just so you're aware, Captain Gwyn, Matt is playing from work, so not the usual setup, but better than no microphone.
Apologies.
No worries. We can understand you. That's the important thing. You just sound different is all. So what would you all like to do?
How about this?
Much better.
That's made
he's
a
in
world
the
of
room.
difference.
Very smooth.
Someone, I won't say who, hadn't plugged the headset microphone into the computer and was clearly coming through the webcam thing. That's a bugger. I've been in a whole load of meetings today and no one's mentioned it.
See, the Trek community will look after you, even when your work colleagues don't.
Not work colleagues,
it isn't
clients.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah, it isn't like somebody recently recorded a UFO podcast with the built-in microphone instead of the old, one. It should have been throughout the entire fucking episode and didn't discover it until editing happened. Yeah, that didn't happen. Anyway, so what would you like to do?
I would like to go back a few hours and plug my microphone back in.
I do not want a visit from Temporal Investigations. Thank you very much, Captain.
No.
I did have a very interesting idea about that for a board game, but we'll come back to that later on. Anyway, yes, Webb is going to shoot the blasted thing.
Okay. You pull out the disintegrator. You're aiming for the beam emitter, I presume.
Yeah.
This then is going to be a control and security roll. It's only a small area. It's going to be a difficulty 2.
Well,
Not too bad. Is there any way I could I assist with this? Have I seen where it's coming from and can sort of,
I can assist with my security score and any talent with my thing.
We'll come back on with Kaveen. How do you want to assist with your security score? What are you doing to assist?
No, could I use? I was thinking maybe my insight and science, perhaps, to sort of see where it's to sort of indicate to the captain where it seems to be coming from.
Well, you can all see the emitter.
Oh, okay. Great big laser gun pointing out the ceiling. I think it's that, Captain.
I mean, you did nail it with the knife. It just didn't do anything.
Okay, I'll step back and let the officer take the shot.
What you don't see is a separate sensor, so it would be a good assumption to make that the sensor is part of the emitter mechanism. But Helen, you say you have a security assistance.
Yes, so I have collaboration security talent. So when someone is using security to complete a skill, they can borrow mine, which is a 5, and they also get access to my focuses, which I think in this case, perhaps star-based security systems or weapons engineering could feature.
Weapons engineering will apply.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, so your security of 5. So there you go, with Helen holding your hand, helping to guide the disruptor pistol. It's all getting very
very
close and personal.
So a control and security, you say?
A control and security difficulty
now.
2.
Okay.
Worth mentioning, you do have 1 momentum, and I have 4 threat. As we start.
Okay, good to know. But I have a control of 12, and so with Amy's security of 5, that I believe is a 17.
It is.
And you get doubles under 5.
And I rolled a 16.
Right.
And a 1. What would be a Starfleet logo, but I'm using critical roll dice because I'm at home. And I have dice in the office because of reasons.
No worries. You get a momentum. And yes, with Helen's guidance, as I spend a couple of threat, you absolutely nail this thing right in the sensor. No effect that you can see.
Oh, bother. Well,
I thought you were going to say bollocks then.
No, I wouldn't swear on this fucking stream.
It's perfectly safe for work.
I'm in the office, don't you know? No, I mean, I suppose we don't have any other organic matter, but take out one of the foodstuffs and chuck it down the corridor.
And it is disintegrated.
Right.
Still on.
Well done.
Yes. Well, it was either that or one of the Klingons. I figured this was probably a better option. Indeed.
Captain Quinn really wants you to walk under this thing.
He does, doesn't he?
Do we limbo our way across? When the beam shoots, is it filling up the entire thing?
No, but where people have gone into it, and certainly where the captain threw the packet, it is a single beam coming down in a direct line, but it does appear to be angled. So it's not always hitting the same spot, if you know what I mean. It is targeting the organic material.
So we can't entrapment our way across this.
Webb doesn't have his cat suit.
I bet he does.
Not with him. No, it's up on the ship.
Do we have could we reflect the beam back at itself? Is that a possibility with what we've got on hand?
Is there anything in here that we can use that's non-organic?
So we had the information about being worthy. Now, Webb did, because was there a thing about being worthy to open the door as well?
I will read you the interpretation again, just so I'm giving you the exact right words. Doopy-doopy-doo. When I find it, come on, where is it? Or did I write it? I might have written it down. Here we are. The opening of the way to those who are worthy of power. This was written on the outside, marking basically the area that you touched to open the door.
I mean, want to walk through? By all means.
What's the
worst that can happen is you've seen people get disintegrated.
Yes. Okay.
Need anything that's not organic to go through it?
No, we threw the knife and nothing happened.
Simply being a Starfleet captain makes you worthy of this random planet.
And also, I was open the door, and this may answer the question that we were posed earlier. So let's try this. And Webb is going to walk down the corridor.
Webb starts walking down the corridor.
Do you finish?
Let me just find my... There we go. That's what I need.
The big dice.
I just need some sand to throw back behind him.
Okay, and there is a flash of light as a beam hits Webb square in the chest.
Oh.
And Webb takes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points of stress. That's an injury.
Mm-hmm.
And Webb is thrown backwards a few feet by the force.
Do we need to drag him out the path of the beam? Is that wise?
It has thrown him back. I mean, you certainly could.
Okay, in that case, shall we from where he's landed, seeing if it's clear of the obvious, the deadline you can't walk past, pull him back and see the state of his injuries?
There's a big black scorch mark right in the middle of his chest, and it is smoking.
Do you feel worthy now?
Is Webb still alive?
Yes, because it's the amount of boxes without crosses in it on stress, isn't it?
That's correct. Yes.
Yes. He took 10 points. You said
10 points.
He had 15 boxes.
So, yeah, he's coughing and spluttering. That was that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. I opened the bloody door, didn't I? It just seemed to stand to reason it would. No.
No.
Webb, you very much get the impression that could have killed you.
Yes. Yes. No, that was maybe not.
Possibly very lucky.
Yes. Yes.
This is the way of Starfleet captains in the 2260s, just blind luck helps a lot.
Yes. I mean, there was. I just kept coming back to something from someone I was at the academy with. Ended up on his own ship, I believe. Absolute moron, a Captain Quinn. He was sort of always said, just always put one foot in front of the other and go down the blind corridors. I never quite knew what it meant. Figured fitting. So.
Didn't he end up lecturing in non-confrontational tactical theory?
Yes, I believe he was disbarred for unknown reasons.
Yeah.
We need to find
something would
else.
Definitely have fitted had it have been Molnir we were talking about.
Had it been someone other than Webb.
Captain Jones did a better job, I believe.
Oh, is Helen going to try?
No, I'm not stupid.
Either that, or we know that it doesn't entirely kill him, so we could pick up Webb like a sort of testudo and walk underneath.
I think he only had one good shot in him, to be fair.
Yes. That was worth a try. Okay, so we've tried shooting it, and that did very little.
No.
We've thrown inanimate objects at it. That also did very little. We know it only shoots at organic matter.
Hmm.
Do we have an android?
Nope.
No.
Here's one I've got in my pocket. I've been hiding it all this time.
We don't have anything substantially inorganic, do we?
No. All of our equipment got taken away from us when we came down.
Yeah.
So they don't want us to use that stuff.
I was sort of thinking a sheet of something.
Just to remind you, there was a metallic case around the other side of the monolith that you took the food packages and other items out of. Hey, Chris! Right. Yes, good point. If only there was a half-decent engineer on the crew that hadn't been murdered, we think, by the captain.
He definitely wasn't murdered.
That's why you're not worthy. It's because of what you did to Rick.
But
which we still don't know what happened to Rick.
No.
He was sent on a very important mission in 5 different directions.
Very important.
Right. Kiwi, go and grab the case and see if it comes apart and we can reconfigure it.
Okay, I boing back out down the corridor, out of the monolith, and go and find the case. It was the Klingons had left it, hadn't they? Or it was a Klingon.
Well, you don't know who had left it. However, it did contain Klingon items, and it looks to be of Klingon design.
Okay. I'll acquire that and head back in.
I mean, what sort of size is it?
It is approximately briefcase sized. So, what we're talking, a couple of feet, 3 feet across, maybe 2 feet deep, maybe half a foot depth. It's quite sort of angular and sharp and fierce looking, as you would expect.
Is there anything we can do to create, as you so rightly suggested, Kiwi, a testudo of some sort?
Like an umbrella out of it. I don't know. Yeah.
I suppose if we could get some sort of panel up so we're crouched behind it, so there's a limited amount of.
Or even one at a time. You know, remember the old Earth puzzle about the boat.
Yes.
Across the river with the chicken,
foxy lady and the chicken and
the chicken and the bag of breakfast cereal. That's the one.
Yes. Why they didn't just replicate a new chicken, I don't know, but
or just make a bridge and walk across.
Yeah.
That would be an engineering solution. Obviously, we don't have an engineer, so I think is it big enough that we could maybe go one at a time, get past this particular trap, and then. Just slide it back. Yeah.
So, Kaveen and Helen, in particular, because you were watching the captain walk through in this, this beam did not fire at him directly from above, but rather on an angle. So, holding it literally above your head is not going to offer protection. And it's not big enough, even open, to offer whole body protection.
Wrap around it.
Could I use my tactical expertise to have a ponder about what I've thought for some insight with some sort of roll? Because it's a weapon, right?
It is a weapon.
Can I try and deduce what it's producing?
You know it is an energy beam. You know that there are lots of different types of energy beam. There are phased energy beams. There are disruptor beams. There are kind of all kinds of. There are heat rays. You, from your knowledge, it'd be pretty much of a guess without having a tricorder handy. But this would fit with being some kind of disruptor beam. What it effectively does is it disrupts the molecules in its target. Rather nasty. It's one reason why disruptors don't have stun settings. Is they are designed to basically disassemble on a molecular level.
And does there appear in the room that we can access to be any kind of access panel or thing on our end that we can see?
There are some controls and lights, and even as you've been doing all this, the remaining people alive, apart from yourselves, have been sort of jabbing at the controls, trying to get something working. But they have been unable to now, whether that's because nobody can really read these hieroglyphs that well, or maybe they don't do anything. Who knows?
Having had a look at the glyphs on the outside of the monolith, is there anything in here apart from the mysterious worthiness clue? Is there anything else that I would be able to see? Especially, are they looking at any sort of controls nearby that I could investigate or help them with?
Give me an insight and science roll. Difficulty 3.
In that case, I will. 2 dice. Let's use. Actually, I'll go bold with my science here. Stu, take a threat, and I get a rerollable d20.
Okay.
And that's what we wanted. I've got a 6, a 6, and a 9 off a target score of 15.
Nice.
Okay. That's too high for any focuses, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Well, a focus only would just trigger 5s to be doubles.
Okay. So, yeah, you study it. It takes you some doing, but you do believe you isolate a section of the panel that you think is probably connected with a security system of some description.
Right. Okay. Based on that, do we have any more food packs we can chuck down the corridor just to test this theory out? I think we might have isolated one part of the system here, Captain.
Yes, we have another couple of ration packs. I think there was 5 in total.
Oh, fantastic! Chuck another Klingon sandwich down the corridor.
I mean, you haven't. To be clear, you haven't done anything with this panel. You've just identified that panel might be something to do with the A-security system.
Okay. Is there? Well, in that case, can I have a fiddle with it? And see if there's any buttons or anything to press that means it's obvious I can push.
You can. This is going to require an insight and security. Difficulty 2.
Okay.
I'll use my talent and help you with my security score.
Oh, if that's permitted, that would help a great deal because my insight is 10.
Between the two of you, you absolutely can.
Does that weapons engineering focus count again still?
I'm
Or
going to say no
security
because security systems I'll allow, yes.
Yeah. There you go. Roll under 5, it counts as a double.
Ooh. Well, I got a 17. And a Starfleet symbol.
Hey! So you got your 2. You've been following these hieroglyphs, these symbols. What looks like a key one that was on constantly has gone out. The light has gone out on it.
Okay.
We'll chuck another.
Chuck a food pack down there, sir.
That looks sad.
The gach in a pouch slides down the corridor and comes to a rest further up.
Well done, Kiwi.
Might have just figured that one.
Everyone else, the Trill, the Lieutenant, who else is there?
Who's left?
Oh, and the Romulan. They let out a big cheer and they run off down the corridor, and there again they're pushing panels, hitting buttons, hitting lights, trying to get something desperately working. The corridor does open up into a larger sort of more circular area. And they're
I was going to suggest we follow on cautiously, but it looks like they're already charging off.
Webb is going to start striding down the corridor and pick up the food pouch as he passes.
Okay. Waste not, want not.
No. Do you get stress back from eating? I mean, I know that's how I deal.
Food, it might be.
You need healing.
Yeah, I think
that's how I deal with stress. So
I cannot heal anything, I'm afraid.
Yes. Eating your feelings does not count with a disruptor blast to the chest, I'm afraid.
Those are words to live by.
I'm afraid science division here is no use. My medicine is 1.
Okay. So as you, I'm guessing you're following the excited group. Hey Ben, good to see you. As you head into the room, and indeed they are pushing things, and things are lighting up on the walls, and hieroglyphs are appearing and disappearing. And something the Romulan touches generates a 3D model in the center of the room.
Ooh.
That everyone turns to see. And you see, you get the impression that this is a speeded up representation, but you see a planet with a moon, and it is a moon. I'm not going to say that's no moon. A beam comes out from the planet and appears to carve the moon into several large monoliths of differing what's the word I'm looking for? Shapes. There's a
segments
name for, hexagons or triangles or squares and stars.
Orange segments.
yeah.
Geometric.
Big monoliths, geometric shapes. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Various geometric shapes, and then pulls them down to the surface of the planet. And then the 3D image winks out.
I think we just figured out where these monoliths arrived from then. It was built on the planet so much as brought to the planet. But that still remains that someone built something on the planet that can do that. That's impressive.
Everyone's gone back to pressing things and pushing panels.
Now, can I again with my newfound hieroglyphic knowledge? Can I see anything here that would basically, repeat hologram?
So
Help me, Obi-Wan.
You go over to the panel that the Romulan was working at. You can push a few buttons and you get a repeat of it. Yes.
Okay. Is there anything here that I can? Is that it, or working on that? Can I find a way of accessing more information? As in not just the the teaser trailer for people buying this product, but the extra stuff.
Okay. Well, after a short while, again, the hologram winks out, and you turn your attention to the controls and the hieroglyphs and trying to work out what their symbolism might be. As you're doing so, across the other side of the room, the trill hits something, and you get another 3D hologram in the center of the room. This time it is a galactic map. And several systems are marked in red as different from it. Each of you can give me an insight and con roll. Or insight and security. Sorry, not security, science. Either insight and con or science. It's only difficulty 1, but you can each make the roll.
I rolled a 19 and a Starfleet symbol. So that's fine.
Okay. I got a 2 and a 3, but I have science is 5. I do have a focus in astrophysics.
I'm not giving momentum on this because this is just for a bit of do you notice a thing.
Sorry, it was insight and then a choice of
con or science.
Well, I'll go for con. But one was a 17. I need to get a 10, and I got a 2.
A 2? Yeah, that's good. Excellent. So you all notice this then. That one of the red areas does appear to be the Bacchus system that you are in. And the largest cluster of these red symbols, they appear to be dotted about pretty much all over the galactic map, but spread out. But there is quite a large cluster in the Beta Quadrant. It's an area of unexplored space, or at least unexplored to the Federation, of course. Before, after a short period of time, it winks out again.
That was interesting.
I hope everyone's taking notes because we can't record it with a tricorder.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go over and replay it if you like.
I don't know if that's going to be much use there, Captain, because I mean we know that is this a map? Did that look to you like a map of other places we are? So whoever built this is pointing out, like here's one we've made, and you can find us in these systems. Especially if this is because there's no other record or anything like this in Federation databases, as far as I know, before we arrived.
No.
So maybe that there's more of this out there, especially in. I mean, Beta Quadrant is predominantly Klingon. So I wonder if the Klingons know anything more about it.
If only you hadn't killed them all, eh?
If only they were conscious enough to answer.
Didn't kill them all. We didn't kill any.
Yeah.
There are no dead Klingons by our hands.
As you are discussing this and debating it and musing over the galactic map image that you have seen, someone else, you're not quite sure who this time, has clearly activated something, because a third hologram appears in the centre of the room. This time it is the planet again. No moon this time. But you do see two beams emanating from it, and what looks like a representation of the Atlantis and a Klingon bird of prey. And the beams are hitting.
Okay. Kiwi, first option. Well, first thing, try and see if you can work out which control controls these beams.
Okay, so I'll go and have a. Now I'm going to try and see if the the glyphs that we've been looking at. Is this? I'm going to see if this is a playback and information area or a control area. Is this just telling us, this is what's happening, or is this like this is how you can control it?
Give me an insight and science roll. Difficulty 3.
Okay, now I will. Can I use my testing a theory talent? This gives me an extra D20 to science and engineering tasks if I've previously succeeded in the same field of inquiry.
Yes.
Oh. Right. In that case, I'm going to spend a momentum as well and add 4. And so I'm rolling 4 dice on this one.
Okay, you're back down to 1 momentum.
That's really pretty good. We've got a 6, a 12, a 13, and a 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
5 successes. You needed 3. So do you get 2 momentum back on, or is it just the 1?
The additional stacks up. So yeah, we get additional 2 momentum back to 3.
Or is it? No, sorry. You get 1 momentum total, but I can give you a free piece of advice.
Yes.
Information.
Yes, because I've succeeded. It generates an additional bit of momentum that I can immediately spend for more information, but I can only use it for that.
That's it. So, yes, you identify that some of these panels appear to be information only. Some of them appear to be information and control. And as your bonus, you've identified which panel you believe was referencing the beams hitting the ships.
Right. I think we've got the beam control, or at least information panel here. So,
right. Can you work out which is hitting our ship particularly and turn that one off, but leave the other one in situ for the moment?
I thought you might say that, Captain. Yes. I'll try to do that. So basically, I'll see if I can switch off the beam controlling our ship and leave the one, if possible, leave the one affecting the Klingons.
Ooh, that is going to be extraordinarily difficult. Just so you know, that's going to be a difficulty 5 task. For one thing, you're playing about with controls on a beam that is active on the ship. You're not 100% certain that you can alter it without making it worse, for one thing. Okay. Let alone which beam is hitting which ship. Can you deactivate one without deactivating both? Are they coming from separate power sources? You don't know any of this. And it's all a language that you do not understand.
Do not know. I think I might turn to the captain and say, that's a bit of a tall order, sir. I think we're just going for the on-off switch if possible.
I mean, just so you can try, but it will be a difficulty 5.
I think our best option is just to take the beam off for the moment. If we can get through to the Atlantis, then we can get through to the Klingons as well. Who knows? They might even be grateful that we switched the beam off their ship.
Fine, I will defer to your knowledge of this stuff.
Alien stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so attempting to deactivate the beams is going to be daring and science. And it's daring because it's power sources that you don't really understand. In a language you don't understand. And it's difficulty 3 rather than 5.
Excellent. My daring is still 10 and my science is 5, so it's still 15s.
Excellent.
So 2 dice.
You do have 2 momentum?
Well, I was going to say, can I use my testing a theory if I've succeeded in the same field of endeavour in science?
I'm going to say no on this occasion. That was more about understanding what does what. This is more about actually manipulating stuff.
Cool. Okay, in that case, let's spend 1 momentum and get a dice. Okay. And let's give Stu 1 threat and get a re-rollable dice.
Okey-doke.
There we go. Okay, I have no applicable focuses for this, really, not with... No. When do you get a focus in weird alien glyph computers?
You do now.
Don't. That's min-maxing. Don't do that, everyone out there. Madness.
Don't do it, because how often will it come up? You GMs would love that one.
And we've got a 4, a 2, and that's a 9. So that's 3 successes and a 17 as well. So nothing complicated.
Okay. Do you want to re-roll your 17 to see if you get a bonus momentum?
What do we think, team?
I could roll a 20.
That's 20, true. Yeah. No, we'll
20.
Look at Stu's face light up. You can't do it.
We'll keep that firmly locked in as a 17, and we'll thank you. That's fine. Actually, the blue one was my one, and that got a 4, so that was fine. I'm not re-rolling that.
Okay, so the 3rd chevron locks into place, and what happens next? We'll find out after the break.
Man.
We will be back shortly. Don't go anywhere. That's an order.
hailing frequencies are open.
And we are back live, Captain Webb. Only just, it seems. He took a nasty old bloke to the chest, didn't he?
Yes.
He's going to need a new uniform.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's already ripped the sleeves off his uniform.
And Kaveen's.
Yes, and Kaveen's. So he's, yes, no, definitely a new uniform in order. Maybe something in a tasteful mustard rather than the green he was wearing.
And he's probably going to need new trousers as well.
Yes, something in the less than tasteful brown that he's in.
So how are we feeling about this? I mean, you've got past the deadly disruptor beam.
Yes.
Managed to deactivate that. Well done. One of those interesting ones where they don't give you a solution in the book.
Interesting. They
I
couldn't
like
come
that.
up with an answer either.
That's good writing, though, isn't it? That's let your players figure out. See what they come up with and see if you let it. Yeah, see.
It's an interesting aspect of the game, like the Modiphius Star Trek Adventures game, as opposed to other RPGs where they are like, this is what you find and X, Y, you follow through a particular path. No, it's much more sort of. I mean, some adventure paths are quite railroaded, but they're much more in terms of problem solving. It's like, here's a problem. Now what are you going to
do? See what they do with it.
Which is nice. I like it. I like that aspect. It's different to what I'm used to.
There's no wrong answers. Although walking straight into the trap was a bit stupid.
No, I think you'll find it was part of the value for always first through the door.
Oh, okay.
On my sheet and everything.
Playing to the value.
That's it.
Fair play.
10 stress worth of value. Worth it.
There are rules about if someone walks into the beam. which I followed. I did follow those rules.
Whap.
8 dice. 8 dice.
So the maximum amount of stress would have been
16.
So
that could have killed me.
Yeah,
it could have killed you, and that would have been evaporation, disintegration, definitely.
I've only got 11. I've only got 11 stress as a character. Would have taken me out.
Oh, I get loads of stress because I've got talents in reference to my stress. So I've got like 18.
Well, that kind of makes sense because there's tactical security,
You're going through the door first next time.
She's all like fitness and shooting things.
I'm not very fit though. So
you're not?
No.
Well, what's Helen's fitness level?
7.
7? Oh no, that's not. But no. Security's
you know why though,
high, isn't it?
Yeah, she hasn't got a focus and skip rope.
Yeah, she doesn't skip.
Or
where she got let down.
See, Webb has a fitness of 11. It's his presence, insight that are the problem, and not great reason.
It's not surprising.
But his control, fitness, and daring are fantastic.
That's what it is. Do you know what? I've been thinking, Webb's like Kirk. He's not. He's Jack Ransom from Lower Decks. So he's constantly just like working with weights, like every time he's sat in the captain's chair, permanently pumping iron.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what it is. He's Jack Ransom. There you go. Oh, dear. Right. So, shall we delve back into the game? And see what happens next. So, Kaveen, the sweat forming on your brow under your fur as you are working on getting some of these hieroglyphs shut off, and as you switch off some of them, others are lighting up, and you're trying to get things shut down, and it's quite difficult. It's like turning into a game in Simon on speed, where everything's like going really quickly, and you just manage. All of a sudden, you hear, or rather, you don't hear a noise that was just about imperceptible before, as power shuts down, and a different display lights up and streams information at you, and suddenly there is an explosion somewhere within the monolith, and every single display goes dark simultaneously, leaving you all in pitch black. Then one display appears in the center, 3-dimensional display, showing you a holographic representation of the Bacchus system. It shows Bacchus 4, which you are on, with the beams of energy bolting out and destroying other planets in the system. A voice comes out. Captain Webb and Helen, you hear this in Federation Standard. Lieutenant Kaveen, you hear it in Kachian.
Meow.
Basically.
Purr noises.
It says, your access of our technology has put you in danger. This system will be destroyed. Use the teleportation field to return to your ship and leave this star system immediately. The voice then repeats the message, and as the message repeats and finishes, a beam of purple light plays a spotlight on the floor just to the entrance of the tunnel that you came in by. What would you like to do?
Did you hear that?
Yes. Something about...
It was talking English to me. Did you hear purring noises?
I don't know. I heard Charlie says.
I think we should get into the light.
So apparently the teleportation beam will take us back to the ship before they destroy the this system.
Entire system.
Is there? There's nothing else you can try and turn anything back on again.
Every display has gone dark.
Yeah, I'm getting
the
nothing
only light
here.
now is
it's dead.
The purple light.
Okay, you two grab whoever else is nearby. I'm sure. Did you all hear this?
The others are trying to jab at the controls, trying to get everything working again.
Right. Where is this teleportation beam?
The really
one,
obvious
Captain.
team.
By the door.
Right. Excellent.
There's only one light. Yes.
Grab. Webb is going to grab the shoulder of whoever's closest.
I'm already going, Captain.
That would be the lieutenant.
We need that one.
Yes. In that case, I'm just going to grab the. Is the Romulan senator nearby?
Romulan senator is fairly nearby. Yeah,
grab them.
Can be.
Throw just push them into the beam.
Okay, so Webb, you're grabbing the Romulan senator.
Mm-hmm.
Romulan senator does not wish to go, so this is going to be an opposed fitness and security roll.
Can I help with my security collaboration?
You can.
Yeah. Have my 5.
Great. So that puts me to 16, which unfortunately means that the 17 doesn't do anything. However, the 3 is below both the security of 5 and my security of 4, so I get 2 wins.
I don't have.
And we have a stalemate as the Romulan senator rolls a 2 and a 3.
Come on.
I'm going to try them again.
Romulans are rather strong.
They are.
You're going to try it again, and she is saying, "No, we must try and We need to capture and understand the secrets.
2 wins. Not fantastic ones, but 2 wins nonetheless.
Managed to drag her struggling into the purple light, and as you do so, she disappears in a blinding flash.
Great. So that leaves us with 3 more people.
2 more inside. The lieutenant and the Trill. And, of course, the 2 unconscious Klingons outside.
So that leaves us with 2 more. Right. So I'm going to grab the lieutenant and take both of us into the beam.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought there was the reason I threw that one in. I thought there was 3. I thought there was 4 people to maneuver. So I was like, we'll just get 1 in and then we'll grab 1 each.
Right.
Through.
I see.
I wasn't just randomly throwing someone in. I was like, we'll just.
I thought you were just testing the beam.
But if that was your intent, you kind of followed the Romulan into the beam of light.
Great. Well, before we go, bring the other 2. Yeah, just.
I'll grab the lieutenant.
I'll grab the other one.
Captain disappears in a flash of light. Captain Webb, no, I'm joking. So, Helen, who are you taking?
The lieutenant.
The lieutenant again. This is an opposed fitness and security role.
Okay. I got 2 fails.
Oh dear. Yeah, the lieutenant just struggles out of your grasp and manages to keep you well at bay.
I will go at her again. Oh,
There is
that's
another
better.
explosion.
Oh
That
no.
rocks everything.
Gotta go. I got 1 win.
Yeah, this lieutenant, you'd probably be proud to have her on your security team, to be honest. She's fending you off, and no, we must, and desperately hammering away at the controls.
Okay, can I?
We'll come back to you, Kaveen, while that's happening.
Actually, in that case, if our other, I'd say, hostage to the planet isn't actually getting in the way, I'll just run over and try and basically help Helen by grab this one together. Can my tail assist in kind of grabbing her as well?
You can you can assist with 1 dice, yes, as a standard assist.
Okay.
So you're trying again, Helen?
Yeah.
1 from me.
I got 2.
Okay, so with 3 successes, you know what, you can have a momentum for that, because that time the lieutenant didn't get any successes at all. So yeah, kind of stumbles over. Are you going with the lieutenant into the beam of light, Helen?
Yes, I will drag her with me because she is slippery as an eel.
Okay, there is a blinding flash of light again, Kaveen, as the as the lieutenant and your commander disappear, leaving you alone with the Trill.
Okay, now I do have a focus in persuasion, so in this case, can I, instead of actually trying to grab her, can I basically just grab hold of the Trill and say, "Come on, we've got to get out of here. Come with me," and do it as an urgent persuasion. This place is blowing up. This place is going.
Okay, I'm going to say this is a reason and command role, and for reasons, behind the scenes reasons, it's difficulty 4.
Okay.
Take all the momentum.
Okay,
You have 2 momentum.
Okay, I'll spend 1 momentum to get 1 dice and hope that we just get a bit of a good luck with this one. So you said reason and command, yeah?
Reason and command.
Okay. 11s we're looking for. And I got a 6, a 5, and a 6. So 3 successes. But nothing
3 successes
triggerable.
does not cut it, unfortunately. As the Trill sort of pays you a little bit of attention, but not that much. As he runs around again, hitting buttons.
Okay.
No, we can't leave until we understand it.
Okay. Last chance, Sloan. I'll try and just overpower him, just drag him to the beam.
Okay, there is another larger explosion that rocks the monolith. And yeah, this is again. This is an opposed fitness and security roll.
11. Ooh, 2 successes.
Any focuses? That might help.
Nothing that would trigger because it's fitness and security.
Fitness and security.
I did one of them is a 3, but I've only got persuasion and geology, and my only focuses that are on the focuses list.
Neither of those is going to help. As the Trill gets 2 successes as well. So that's a standoff.
Oh, we'll go
Things
one more
are
time.
getting urgent. Dust is falling from the ceiling. The whole monolith is starting to shake. Cracks forming around the walls.
I'm basically it's the purple light behind me. I'm going to grab him. If he wriggles, I'm jumping into the beam.
Okay.
No, it's not going to work. Oh, I've got 1 success. Unless he gets none.
No, just manages to stand his ground. You think you've just got him through the beat. He got 1 success, but also a 19, so that was very close to a complication. But no, that's a standoff again. And as
as my grip loses, I just sort of jump back into the beam and go.
And there is a blinding flash of light.
Sort of an inverse Hans Zimmer.
Let us cut back to the Romulan senator and the captain. Captain, your vision is very blurry. You are shaken. It's kind of like being hungover. As your eyes, as you blink, and your eyes clear, you realise you are on the bridge of a smallish craft. The air is stale and reeks of Klingon. As there is a flash of light to your left, Commander Helen Alward, you and who was it you took with you? The Lieutenant. Also very, very groggy, eyes becoming accustomed to things. As your eyes start to adjust, in fact, both of you see a dozen shocked Klingons turn, each of them raising a disruptor in your direction. As there is another flash of light and Lieutenant Kaveen appears on board. Again, very groggy, very out of it for the moment. Kaveen, you just about make out the words, "What is this intrusion?" As the closest Klingon, his finger dangerously twitchy on the disruptor's trigger, levels this question at the 3 of you.
Who's the most diplomatic with Klingons? I hope we all beamed in holding our hostages in front of us. I haven't got one.
Who's in command here?
I am. Answer the question, Federation.
Yes, we were abducted by some monoliths down there, and there was three of your crew members and what was the word they used for traitor?
I can't remember now. Traitor would be the word. Universal translators appear to be working on this ship.
Yes. The traitor was dispatched as per decree by the Empire. And then your commander was killed. Ah, fuck. Your commander was killed by some sort of contraption that sent us here.
Give me a daring and command. Difficulty 2. That was quite persuasive.
I do have persuasion as a focus.
Oh, yes, that will definitely count.
And diplomacy and composure.
Oh, actually, any one of those three, but you can only have one. Which one would you like for flavour?
What was it? Command and?
Daring and command.
Okay. I will have...
Are you all right, by the way?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
From our sponsors.
No, I may have slipped with a scalpel.
I did exactly the same thing earlier today on my tip of my finger.
Yeah, I got the joint.
Yeah.
The irony being, as I was putting it back in the cork.
It's always the way.
Well, my daring is 11. My command is 5.
Ooh.
I got a 15 and an 18. But as I said, I do have a diplomacy.
Okay, but that wouldn't come in because it's not come under 5. So you get 1 success out of the 2. Of these dozen Klingons, most of them seem to be muttering and arguing amongst themselves when the one that addressed you thinks for a moment, turns to the others, barks something in Klingon, and they appear to be coming to apprehend you. Are you going to allow them to?
I think we're in a position to resist here.
No, I don't think we are.
Unless we point out that we've been quick, point out we're on a similar mission. We've got our own traitors here.
Yes, we'll try that. So you were picking up a traitor who stole a shuttle from you. We also were tracking traitor who stole a shuttle from you. We have apprehended ours, and your commander killed yours. If you would like to just let us pop back to our ship, we seem to have been here unincidentally, that would be lovely.
Where is the commander and the soldiers?
The commander got disintegrated along with the Romulan and the Trill.
There is a Romulan with you.
You're holding one.
The Vulcan and the Trill. Sorry, they look alike.
There is no Trill with you.
No, I said he got disintegrated. The soldiers were coming in right behind us. I'm not quite sure what happened to them.
At this point, could I interject? We seem to have. I think has your ship been affected by some form of energy beam? We think we deactivated it on the surface of the planet. We think it was affecting our ship and yours.
They all look at each other. They stop advancing. The ones that they look at the guy who addressed you, and they say some other things to each other in Klingon. Kaveen, give me a control and presence roll, difficulty 2.
Okay. A side note: control and presence are both attributes, so that would be 19 as a total, rather than attribute and discipline.
That can't be right. Control and command.
Okay. Difficulty 2. I'll use a momentum if I may.
You can. It's your last momentum.
I'll throw in an extra one.
Use it wisely.
We've got an 8, a 10, and an 18. Control and command is 11, so 2 successes and
2
dodge.
successes.
Something nasty.
What you needed. Katian. Yes. We are experiencing engine difficulties, and as he says this, the whole ship rocks.
We think it was emanating from a series of monoliths on the planet. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. When exploring it, we think we deactivated it. But in the meantime, when we did, it blew up the entire network. So at the moment, your engines should hopefully be at least repairable or free. Are you still having trouble with the engines now? Trying to stand up.
Klingon you are speaking to spits on the floor and says, "Our chief engineer died in the incident with the beam. You are a science officer, yes?
Yes.
Our warp core is in the process of destroying itself."
Strangely, I know an officer who might be able to help with that. I think would this be a good time to dramatically turn to the captain and say, "Captain, we need to help. We need to help. If we help them get their warp core back online, I think we might have got some friends here." Bless you.
I didn't know if I was going to get to the mute in time. Yes, no.
My engineering is 4. Just to let you know.
Yes, I mean, if these gentlemen are willing to have your help, you feel free to try not to have the ship explode around us. That would be a rather unfortunate end to the day.
I'm sure the Klingons would rather we help to try and repair their ship than they get a ride home on a Federation starship.
Yes. Do you want some assistance to stop the ship blowing up around us?
We can help you if you'll let us.
Oh, is that directed at the Klingon? Sorry, yes.
This isn't my normal voice, you know.
No, I thought you were asking Kaveen if he wanted.
No. Do you want? No. I mean, actually, Kiwi, if you want some help, you take the commander with you. I don't know, Commander. What's your warp core engineering like? No, you may as well do it yourself, Kiwi. Which one of you guys? Which one of you guys who was your second in command engineer?
We did not have a second in command engineer.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a good job that Starfleet Academy's basic required course is basic warp engineering, then, isn't it?
Yes.
And should also have redundancy built into their systems.
We are a ship of soldiers of the Empire.
Very far
Cajun science. Here is our engineering console.
Excellent.
Like
in that case, I will. Actually, these are Klingons. You can't just. I will sort of stride over to it, like I own the place.
Saunter.
Oh, I might just rub my scent on it. I don't know what. Make it mine.
Spray it. Okay. Sprays the console. Give me an insight and engineering roll, difficulty 1.
Okay.
To spray the console. Then give him an engineering roll to actually press the buttons.
Let's see. I have got insight and engineering is 14 in total, and I've got a 2 and a 3.
2 and a 3. Any focuses that might?
Nothing really. No. No.
Okay. So you get a momentum. So well done. And is it only with science that you get extra bits of information?
If it's a actually, I think it's if I'm using just a second. Let me just double check that. I have a funny feeling it is if you succeed at a task assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, or by using a tricorder.
Okay, they don't apply. So looking at the engineering schematics, you've got your momentum, so that's good. The warp core is too far gone, too far damaged to be repaired. It needs to be ejected. However, the release clamps on the outside of the ship are locked and need to be released manually. It's a 2-person job. Once that is done, the ship needs to be piloted very quickly out of harm's way, out of the explosion range of the warp core. The warp core is going to explode one way or the other. It just needs to be out of the ship, and the ship needs to be moved away at impulse as quickly as possible, which means that the 2 people releasing it will be on the outside of the ship, which means it's going to need some clever piloting.
I'll say. How's everyone with their zero-G engineering training?
Let me think back to my time.
I've always enjoyed a bit of 0G. My engineering, not so much.
No, engineering is not my forte.
Okay, well, shall we turn to the Klingon crew and very quickly and succinctly point out we need 2 EVA suits and access to your hull to dump this warp core and get your ship to safety.
The Klingon who has been addressing you. We have 2 EV suits. That would fit any of you. This way! And he heads off down the corridor.
Fantastic. Right. Well, I suppose I've got fairly high engineering, so Captain, I better go and do this. If someone can steer the ship out of the way once this thing goes up, I'd appreciate that a lot.
I am equally good in engineering as I am with flying stuff, so I'll go help you.
Is flying the con, isn't it? I can pilot this. Yes, happy to.
This is a very. I'm getting some dramatic theatre of the mind stuff here. This is great. This is perfect.
You, one of you. Where's your pilot's console?
One of the Klingons who is only an extra, so he's not paid extra for lines, just points to a chair at the front of the bridge.
And what's your name?
Webb off down the corridor looking for a better agent.
Talking to you.
Points at his name badge. It's got 3 backlights on it.
Doesn't have a name on it. It just says "Happy to help."
Surly Klingon 1. Webb is going to Riker maneuver.
Okay. You know these things are like up here.
No.
It's stuck.
Webb ruptures himself. Fantastic. Right, so Helen and Kaveen, you are shown on the way. Along the way, the Klingon does introduce himself. He says, "I am Captain Parak."
Captain
Of the
Parak.
Yarleth. By the way, you didn't ask.
Y'all left.
Well, we're in a hurry to stop your ship blowing up, which incidentally is still going to happen.
It's good to
Yes,
meet
here
you.
are the EV suits.
Good. Let's get dressed quickly.
Okay.
Montage! And then lots of flash shots of like at least
Exactly what
12
you get.
cuts of us getting dressed.
Yeah. Kaveen nearly gets his tail trapped in it, but manages to
You have to-
get it
Yeah,
down
I'd
the
have to
leg of
fold
one
it
of the
in somehow.
trousers.
I'm guessing I don't have the three-hand ability in a Klingon EV suit.
Do not, no.
Would you
not.
put the tail down one of the legs, or would you have it go up your back?
I think I'll put it down. I think
Oh,
I as a Cation male, I might actually have a side-eye dress with my tail, so it might go.
Yeah. Or like
No,
wrap
I
it round
prefer-
your waist? I don't
No,
know.
I'm going to put it down my right spacesuit leg.
As it is an extension of the spine, it would go down more readily. Going up, you're risking serious damage.
That's true.
Down the back. Yeah.
I don't have a tail, so I was
You have a
curious.
coccyx, which is a tail.
Yes,
Vestigial
But
tail.
it's not a full-on tail that Kaveen has,
It's not.
and Helen was curious as to what it's like to have a
Are you
tail.
eyeing up my tail, Commander?
No, I was just curious because I don't know. I don't have one. Anyway, we've got a
fantastic.
mission to do and shit to say, so let's get on with it.
And indeed, the captain virtually shoves you into the airlock as you're discussing this. And you are out into the exterior of the hull. Now, to get to the clamps, you need to navigate the outside of the ship. I need you both to give me a daring and con roll, difficulty 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh no!
Oh, a 4 and a Starfleet symbol, and that was a daring and con would have been 11.
Ooh, 2 successes, 5 and a 6.
So you've just gained yourself 2 extra momentum, because you 1 each for all your extra successes. You're up to 3 momentum now, as you both manage to your way
Artfully.
to the external locks of the Bird of Prey warp core system. Now, the next thing I need each of you to do to act or to manually release the locks, you each need to make a fitness and engineering roll, difficulty 2.
This is like my 2 worst stats.
Ah.
So I'm going to borrow a momentum for this one.
You're going to borrow what, sorry?
A momentum. Yeah.
Momentum, sure.
Yes, 12, 8.
Okay.
That's okay.
I have 1 success and 1 failure. So I've got 3 and a 12. And you get under 11. No, sorry. Under 9.
So 1 success, 1 failure, and you've got
And
your
then-
momentum roll.
Is a 10. So I failed that.
Oh, okay. You
So only
1
one
success
success.
from the commander. What did Lieutenant Kaveen get?
I got now fitness and engineering is a 12 target. I got an 11 and a 4.
Okay. So the lieutenant, you managed to extract the piston, twist it, thunk it back down, and the lock snaps off on your side. You managed to extract it, twist it, but it won't go back in.
Kaveen, it's jammed. Give me a hand.
No, I'll finish off mine and go and float over to, if I can, to assist. Or do we have magnetic boots, or is it more sort of floating handholds?
No, you've got magnetic boots.
Oh, okay. I'll just stomp over then.
Chee-comp. Okay. I'm going to say this is your last opportunity.
Mm.
Okay, give me. It's again difficulty 2. I'm gonna say who's leading this now.
Bean can lead this.
I'll lead it,
Okay.
because with testing a theory as a talent, I can add a D20 to science and engineering tasks if I previously succeeded.
Okay, so Kaveen leading. We'll have one more dice from Helen as an assist. You do have 2 momentum.
Okay, so I've got 3 so
I
far.
did not assist very well.
I'll add in 1 with momentum, so I'm rolling 4.
Okay,
Same again, fitness and engineering.
2 successes. Yes, fitness and engineering.
And we've got a 2 and a 4 and an 18 and a 3.
Yay.
3 successes, so you get your momentum back at least.
Wonderful.
As Kaveen, what the commander was doing, she was trying to twist it back in, and it's twist and then plunge. That's what it is, and you managed
Also,
to do
word to live
that.
by.
And the lock on this side releases as the warp core slides out and away from the ship. Back on the bridge, as it does pull out and slightly away, you see it's thrumming away, and that thrum is getting faster and faster and faster. Back on the bridge.
Time to get back to the
Webb,
airlock, Commander.
Random Klingon has informed you that the warp core has been released. You've literally got seconds to get the ship to a safe distance. You haven't got time for him to get back into the ship. I need a control and con roll, difficulty 3.
Okay.
This is in order to move the ship away under impulse power using the exact correct trajectory to use the blast to move you away without incinerating your crewmen on the outside.
This
You have 2 momentum.
I will spend a momentum 100%.
I was expecting to say, how important are my crew?
Oh no, I quite like Keith. He's been around a while. This Lieutenant, Commander Jane, I believe her name was. I think.
Leave me out here. It's fine.
So I'm going to use a momentum. Does that give me 3 dice?
Yes.
Okay. I have a focus of inspiration.
Doesn't apply here because you're manipulating a control panel, which is not inspired.
Team dynamics.
Captain, do you have a value you could use a point of determination for?
Pretty pissed at Klingons. Yes, but some. Which one is it? Is it?
Actually, do you know what? Helping to save a Klingon ship, I'm going to say you can challenge your value.
Ooh.
Ooh, yes. Ooh.
That's a good challenge.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge that value. I do have something that boosts a low. Course, it's a con. But okay, so 3 dice.
If you challenge a value, can you spend a point of determination to gain yourself an automatically rolled 1?
I believe so, yes. Yes.
Okay.
It is the first ever challenge of a value, Ben, yes, in the game since we started.
So I'm challenging the value.
Yep.
Which gives me a 1. So that's 2 successes.
Which is 2 successes, yes.
I have rolled 2 dice. I'm going to roll the third. The third is a 13. And I have a control of 12 and a con of 3.
Nice.
The second dice was a 10. So that's 4 successes.
Yep.
And The third dice was a 2. So that's 6 successes. I am nimble fingers.
You are indeed. And indeed, as you're doing this, you gain a greater appreciation for Klingon design and controls and ships. It's not fancy, but it's really functional.
Yes.
And maybe there's something about Klingons, and maybe it's just they're just direct and functional. Maybe they're not as bad as you originally thought.
That nice clunk to the keys.
Exactly.
Sort of old Russian nuclear. Dunk, 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 dunk.
And from the exterior of the hull, the ship suddenly banks wildly away from the warp core, starts turning the nose away just as the warp core explodes, and it starts picking up speed, and the blast throws the ship. But Kaveen and Helen, you are shielded from the blast by the underside of the ship as it is thrown away. It's not a comfortable ride, it's got to be said, and it does get a bit warm, but you both make it intact. Well done. Oh my goodness. So I'm guessing you both go back in.
After that, yes.
I need a cup of tea now. All that excitement.
Somewhat relieved. And yeah, the crew of the Klingon ship are absolutely overjoyed, and the captain, in particular, Captain Parak, slaps you on the back, Webb. Not, I mean, it feels quite aggressive, but it's, clearly not. And in fact, he calls you a man of honour. High praise indeed.
You are worthy.
And he invites the three of you to the mess hall for a feast in your honour.
Well, that sounds like a jolly good idea.
Better than the ration packs we found down there.
Yes.
As he's talking to you and sort of planning this, a communications officer pipes up and informs all four of you that they are heading out of the system back towards the neutral zone, and the three of you may be interested that the Atlantis is setting sail in the same direction as well. You'll be able to rendezvous there without any
fantastic
problem.
Yes, if we could message the ship, but I'd tell them that they can pick us up after dinner, and maybe tomorrow morning. I have a feeling this might get into the early hours, Commander.
They definitely will, and the blood wine flows as the tales get taller and taller as the evening and the drink progresses, as is the Klingon way. Very, very well done. And indeed, after the meal and the celebrations and all the honouring and toasts and Klingon headbutting has finished, you are indeed beamed back, bleary-eyed, unsteady of foot, back
Medical
onto
team to the transporter room,
Atlantis.
please.
Bed that.
Where you are informed that an Admiral Stoker has that's Admiral Banner Stoker has ordered the Atlantis to rendezvous with her ship, another colony class, the Astrad, USS Astrad, as soon as possible, in order to report on what the crew saw whilst on the planet.
Fantastic.
And that seems like a good place to leave it for this evening.
Yeah.
It does.
Woo! Woohoo! Made it
We
off
did a
Bacchus.
thing. We all
Yeah.
survived. That was surprising.
I
was.
really thought the two of you were going to get blown off the side of the ship.
Me
I thought it was
too.
space dust for a minute there.
I was like, I am not going to be good at this. And then she was like, it's going to be fitness. I was like, oh, I'm engineering.
It's when you said I'm okay at con. I'm thinking, shit, I know what's coming. That's the hard part. No, you absolutely blitzed it. Well done, everybody. Oh, and we reset all our momentum and threat now. We have completed the first part of our Atlantis story. There are 3 parts to it. We've completed the first part, so yeah. Well done, Captain Webb, Commander
What a hit.
Alward, and Lieutenant Kveen.
What a guy.
Yes.
What do we think of the adventure so far, then?
I really liked the image of the planet we were just on. That was really cool. I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting having a Star Trek puzzles where you don't get any of the Star Trek tools to fix them.
I will use a computer and scan it.
Yeah, you can't just, tricorder. It's this.
I gave you a disruptor. What more do you want?
It disrupts things. It doesn't tell us.
Any theories about why it was only the 3 of you who were beamed down?
Where's the engineer?
Well, they clearly needed our skills.
None of you had considered that, had you?
No.
No.
Was it
Not the slightest.
something hereditary, maybe? No.
No, that wouldn't make sense.
Wasn't just that we were like the first 3 names on the title sequence.
No, not so.
I mean, we were clearly targeted to be brought down, as was everybody else, I imagine, who we met down there for good or ill.
I'm kind of interested why the others were dragged from such a distance. What brought the ones that killed people, stole ships, and took themselves there?
What was it was obviously something that particular device. And if you imagine the whole planet being a device, because we saw on the hologram, it was able to trap stuff that comes to investigate it, and basically annihilate entire solar systems. Whether or not it's already done that in the past, because this was Bacchus 4, so there were more planets. There were already more planets in the system. They hadn't wiped out everything, as far as I know.
I mean, yeah, I think we'll have to find out whether or not it does explode to wipe out the system. I'm interested to know where the smaller crafts that were stolen went. And sort of how much the lieutenant and the Romulan remember.
Well, because the smaller craft that were brought were like shuttlecraft size, weren't they? So imagine the disruption caused to.
So they probably just disintegrated.
Yeah, and they took them off that, put them on the planet, and the disruptor beam basically destroys the smaller ships, whereas ours damaged and fall into the planet, and they pick off us. But why us? Why not the entire crew?
Because we're special.
As to what the lieutenant and the senator remember, they remember everything. I can tell you. Quite candidly, they do remember everything. They don't really know why. They kind of, it's all a bit strange. They don't know why they were acting the way they did, but whatever that influence was, went shortly after you were on the Yarleth.
Well, that sort of matches our theory that the further you take them from it, the less the effect. Obviously, just running them across country between monoliths wasn't very useful.
But why didn't we get affected by the monoliths?
Yeah, it wasn't a proximity thing. So,
We certainly
many
weren't,
unanswered questions.
yeah, we certainly weren't drawn in and sort of like, just, focusing on we have to find. We're like, we can find out how this works to get out of here because it's weird.
And just to clarify a bit of sort of behind the scenes things going on, obviously the lieutenant will be given over to your custody. What about the Romulan? Would you like custody? Because the Klingons will either happily take care of the Romulan, as it were, or will happily hand over to your custody.
They're going to take care of him or take care of him.
I think we will...
Romulans and Klingons don't get on terribly well.
No.
We'll take care of him.
We'll take him for a debrief.
I mean, Federation and Romulans don't get on terribly well.
No.
Well, there's a good opportunity here for there's a good opportunity here for improved relations with. But it looks like we've made Captain Webb's made a friend on the Klingon side of the border. Handing back their senator might also help out Federation Romulan relationships as well. This is going to be good in the report, Captain. This is going to look good. This is going to look good.
You might get your promotion yet, Kiwi.
Oh no, thank you.
Is it working, man?
Surprising how many of those there are in Starfleet, isn't there?
All of them played by you and Jeffrey Coombs. Yes.
To be referenced in the same breath as Jeffrey Coombs in Star Trek.
Well, very, very well done, everyone. That was a lot of fun. But you're back on your ship and it's in one piece.
Yay, we did it. Well done.
Not as many people are dead as could have been the case, possibly.
And none of them were at our hand.
Yes, you tell yourself that.
Constantly.
I mean, technically, if the whole planet exploded, those two that we left tied up are probably problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they're still down there, aren't they? Oh, well, no, details.
Yes.
And the trail.
Well, that was her fault. His fault. Their fault.
I can't be more persuasive than 3 goes.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, that was absolutely brilliant. And yes, and thank you, of course, to everyone for joining us as well. I think we're around in a fortnight, or planning to be around, are we not?
Should be.
Nothing immediately blocking the sensors there?
No.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm conscious I am off, obviously, to Chicago.
Are the clocks
in
going
April,
forward
this is...
the weekend before? Is that something that might impact us?
The next is March 30th, I believe.
It is March 30th. So, yeah, so we're before April. So, yes, we're good for, well, hopefully good, unless anything crops up. In the meantime, make sure you sign up to the Discord, because that's where announcements will be made if anything changes. Link is below in the description. And on that bombshell, as we warp off into the distance, we say take care for now, and what we always say at the end, peace and long life, live long and prosper. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.